All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. Hold on. Gotta make sure my audio's good. Let's see. Oh, okay. We're good. Let's do this. Oh, wait. Hold on. Gotta do the classic tradition. Let's see if this works. Okay. Paste. Didn't work. Okay. Well, maybe next time. I don't know why it works sometimes and it doesn't other times. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are here and it is time. Today we are going to be doing our CAMELOT tier list. And then after that we'll be starting Babylonia. So, let's just jump right into this. Because these tier lists can sometimes, run a little bit longer than I intended. So if we jump right into it, then we can be done with it sooner. So let me pull it up real quick. Move this over. Okay. Full screen it. And then... Whoa! Matthias already! Yo, Matthias, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. Congratulations to all of the people that received a membership. Make sure to thank Matthias if you got one. I also see there are some frequent members of the stream that got some this time. Janice, Try Archer, and Arnaldo. And then on top of that, we have KPB and we have Tanisha. Congratulations. I know, Tanisha, you've been dropping some comments every here and there, so I appreciate it. Or I guess I appreciate Matthias for the membership, and make sure to thank him if you were one of the lucky winners. If you weren't, you already know what to do. You gotta evade somehow. Okay, let me start the game up. Yo, JJ, what's up, man? Cornelius, welcome. Let's see. Dip Poncho, welcome to the stream. Biggest Boss as well. Glad you guys could all make it. By the way, how did the fight against the last section of CAMELOT have been? I've been not watching streams on time due to your stream being late at night in my place. Yeah, I know. For some people, I know my streams do run really late because we're like... not on the opposite sides, but we're in different parts of the world. Some people it's morning, like for me it's about 11 a.m. But I know for some people it's like actually super late. But the last few fights, they were okay. They weren't super challenging. In my opinion, I think the my first fights with each of the Knights of the Round Table, those were more challenging than these kind of rematches that we got later on. Because now I know their gimmicks. Like, I knew that, I think it was, why can't I remember his name? Gawain, I think he got, like, double charge every turn. And I knew that going into the second fight. And then with with Lancelot, I knew going into the second fight that he had like resistances to everything except for, I forget the class, but it's like some random class. I think it's Archer or something. Or maybe it's Saber? I'm not sure. Regardless, my first time fighting the Knights was more challenging than my rematches against them because I knew what to expect. But let's swap over. Full screen this. And then let me change the audio to the game audio. And then let's also go into CAMELOT so that we have the CAMELOT music. Okay. Let's go. CAMELOT tier list. It is time. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I gotta turn this one off. Okay, perfect. So here we have our tier list with all of the different characters. That's weird. I added some characters, but I guess when I changed the mode, we lost some, so I'll just re-add them real quick. Let's see. Gotta, of course, add him to the tier list. Gotta add this guy and this guy. I know he's already here, but I don't like how zoomed out this image is, so I'm gonna be using this one instead. Let me know, are there any other notable characters from Camelot that I'm missing? No, Roost, I made sure to add him. Yo, Steelhawk, welcome to the stream, man. Testicle, welcome, welcome. Glad you guys could all make it. Roost, yep, we're gonna be rating all of them. So, we have S, A, B, C, D, and then underneath this... Nope, wrong one. Forgot what color it was. I think it was that. This one. Nope. There we go. Let me change the colors a bit. Make it a little bit more of a natural progression here. Maybe this into this. Yeah, this looks better. Okay, so of course, you know, last we gotta have trash tier. Put it in all caps. Trash tier. Okay. No. Sorry. My bad. This is mash tier, not trash tier. This is mash tier. So, I feel like, you know what? I didn't really think about this until now. For all of the tier lists, I've made a mash tier just because she's in all of the singularities. So, since her story kind of, you know, continues onward, and she has context from previous singularities, I like to not really rank her. But I was thinking now this time, once we get to Solomon and finally finish the main singularities, then I'll finally rank MASH S through D tier. But for now, she's gonna be in MASH tier, and you know what? We can even put MASH at the top, because MASH is awesome. So, we have MASH tier, S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier. Now, just to remind you guys, the way that I rank these, there's a few different things that I'm looking for out of each character. Number one is going to be how much I personally like the character. So if I find them likable, if I find them funny, if I find them goofy, if I think they're badass, you know, just how I personally feel about their character, that's one thing I'm looking for. The second thing is their impact on the story. Did they just come in, drop a few lines of dialogue, and then die and we never saw them again? Or were they the main villain? Did they help us defeat the main villain? Did they take out a large player in this singularity here? Or were they a large player in this singularity here? So I'm looking for those two things. And then I have one more category that I forgot about. I think it's I'm not sure, but I kind of want to rank these guys based on how I felt their fights went. If they're like Da Vinci and they didn't have a fight, then, you know, that just won't be added to the equation. But if it's someone like Tristan, then, you know, if his fight was enjoyable, I'll give him more points. If his fight was kind of boring or lackluster, I'll give him less points. So, with that all out of the way, let's start this. Change the title when you play Babylonia so I can watch. Okay, I can do that. You had us in the first half, not gonna lie. What was the Roost image called? I don't know. Let me see. The Roost image was called... Oh! Okay. So you're talking about this? The Roosh Waifu 2X Photo Noise 1 Scale. That's the name of the AI upscaler that I use. It's called Waifu 2X. It's actually really good. If you have any images, I like to use them because some of the sprites for characters can be a little bit smaller. So if I want to make them bigger for the thumbnail, then I use that website. So that's why it says that. I know it probably caught some people off guard. Let's see. This singularity had a lot more characters that actually did something. I agree. I said this at the end of last stream. I feel like there's not going to be a whole lot of D tier characters. Maybe not even a whole lot of C tiers. Just because I feel like everybody did something. Everybody contributed in a pretty notable way. So without any further ado, we start with Da Vinci here. Da Vinci. Everybody loves Da Vinci, right? I love the fact that she, like, number one, her inventions helped us out a bunch. It helped us to cross through the desert seamlessly with her, what's it called, ornithopter, or whatever the heck it's called. She also had that cool moment where she, like, charged into Lancelot's little entourage that she had, or that he had, and she was willing to sacrifice herself. I love the little, I don't even know what to call it, like, effect that they added to the actual game, where Da Vinci is no longer in the shop and instead you get a hologram of her. I'm sure there are people that played this for the first time that were like, no, she's actually gone. She's actually dead. So that was really cool. And then finding out that she was actually alive, her helping us in so many different ways. I don't know if, I mean, obviously we didn't see it in the game, but in the anime, it was really cool to see her, like, you know, use her gauntlets, like, see them in action. So that was all very, very cool. Da Vinci, very likable character. I feel like she contributed quite a bit, but she didn't contribute as much as other characters. I think there are other characters that did bigger things than her when it comes to progressing the story. I think A is fair. I think A is fair. I love Da Vinci, but I think there are other characters that I'd put above her in this singularity. So I gotta keep her at A. I'm thinking high A, but I can't justify putting her in S just yet. We all love Da Vinci here. She did craft the desert buggy. What she was out of commission for. Well, yeah, true. Insane name for a tool. Oh, the website. Roosh emote 1. That might be the next emote. We do still need an emote for Camelot because we have one for all of the other singularities. So I might make it a Roosh emote. Certified woman of culture. True. Her card alone put her in A. We ain't going through all that without her vehicle. I agree. That was a massive desert. That was a huge... And there's so many characters that have said throughout the series with Sanzong. They were impressed that she was able to cross through the desert. That just shows you how massive that desert was. And probably how difficult it would have been without Da Vinci. So, I gotta give her A tier. I think that's a fire placement. Nido Crease. Now, I already liked her in the anime, but in this singularity, I think they did her even more justice. She is absolutely amazing. I love that part that was cut from the anime that we got in this singularity in the very beginning, where we first meet her, and we see kind of this, like, is it tsundere side of her? Not really. I don't know what to call it, but I don't know. It seemed like she was trying to be all, like, high and mighty, but then she'd get embarrassed. And honestly, it was adorable. We also saw her. Didn't she also, like, vouch for us throughout the singularity? I remember when we went to talk to this guy, I think he mentioned that, you know, she was talking about us while we were gone, like saying good things. So that's awesome. You know, she was rooting for us even though she didn't know us too well. In the very, very end, she was willing to sacrifice herself using that mirror ability to reflect the attack from the holy city. And on top of that, she's another pharaoh just like him. I think these two are such a cool, like, power couple. I don't think they're actually in a relationship. I think it's kind of like the bond between Gilgamesh and Siduri in Babylonia. But those two are amazing together. I love how their personalities kind of complement each other. I think she's awesome because she... How do I explain it? Given her personality, you wouldn't think she's as powerful as she actually is. You know? She comes off as, you know, friendly once we got to know her and very loyal to him. But in actuality, she's incredibly powerful, definitely a force to be reckoned with. Even if he wasn't here and she was the only pharaoh in that city, she would still be an incredibly powerful ally to have by her side. So ultimately, I don't know. I think I gotta give her S, man. This is tough. I think I have to give her S. She's like slightly above Da Vinci. And since I already have Da Vinci at the top of A, I think she's gonna be like maybe bottom of S. But we'll see how S tier is looking later on. But Nitocris, definitely one of my favorite characters of this singularity. There's a lot that I like, and she's definitely near the top end, in my opinion. I'll also agree if you go S, can't go wrong with Nito. She's an unsung hero in this singularity and deserves to be decently high. It's more of a sibling relationship, true. This singularity is gonna have so many S tiers. I know. It's hard. There's a lot of likable characters here, man. It's tough. Nitocris S, that's what I'm saying. I'd put her in A, but I won't disagree with S. Okay. She also did the illusion thing to scare off the pursuers. True. Yeah, she vouched for us in front of Ozzy. At some point, you have to start comparing her with other characters. Otherwise, what's the point? Yeah, that's like, that'll come as we progress further into this tier list. Because, you know, if I have like 10 of these guys up in S tier, then I'm going to have to take a moment and be like, okay, it's way too top heavy. Does everyone truly deserve to be an S? And then that's when I'll start shifting people around. But right now, it's early. I'm feeling S. So I'm going to put her there. Betty Vier. Next, we have Betty Vier. Holy crap. He's such a huge part of this singularity. He is such a massive part of this singularity. Number one, you gotta respect the guy. He's such a, like, cool and honest, loyal character. So, I mean, and, you know, that's obviously a little questionable, because it's like, he's loyal to... It's like he's loyal to Artoria. And he showed his loyalty to Artoria by... turning against the Lion King. It's a very complicated situation, because you could argue that he's incredibly loyal because he didn't put the sword in the lake because he cared that much about Artoria, but then you can argue he's not loyal because he didn't follow her orders and put the sword in the lake. So it's controversial. Overall, I really like Betty Vier. I think his power is really cool. I think, number one, he's basically the catalyst for everything going crazy in this singularity. He comes in the end, he cleans up, like... Bro, I don't know. Betty Vier has to be S tier. I think he has to be S tier. I can't think of a single reason not to put him S tier. Because he's just way too important. He's incredibly likable. he's badass. The fact that he has an arm that, like, he has the Erglatom, his arm is a noble phantasm. It has like a drawback where it, like, you know, injures him if he uses it too much. I just think he's such a cool character, man. The only thing that sucks about Vetiver is the fact that he's not a 5-star. Cause he deserves it, bro. Definitely deserves it. Put him in MASH tier or create a new one for him. He's just on another compared to everyone else in Camelot. That's a good argument. That's a good argument. But we'll see what S tier is looking like. Again, if there's a bunch of people in S tier, then I just might have to give him his own tier. But for now, he's the top of the top. And already seeing these two next to each other, I'm like, ooh, is she really on his level? But we'll see as we keep going. Next, we have another unsung hero of this singularity, because they were actually cut out from the anime. So the only context I have for her is from this singularity here. Number one, I think she was a great addition to this singularity. She's funny. I like how she's, like, you know, rough around the edges, but once you get to know her, she's actually super cool. I think her ability is incredibly cool, the 100 personas. I think she's awesome. She helped us a ton in the beginning when it came to infiltrating into the prison where we found Tota. Like, she did so much. I think, dude, the thing that makes rating her difficult is that a lot of what she did was kind of off screen, if that makes any sense. Like, we'd be in a situation where we'd need someone to distract the enemy while we infiltrate. She would be the one to distract them, then we'd go in, and then we'd come right back out. But we wouldn't really experience or see what happened on the outside, what she did exactly. All we know is that she held them off, which is respectable. You know, not a lot of people could have been able to do what she's done in the singularity. Overall, I'm thinking high B. When I think about her being removed from the anime, I kind of want to put her A, because she 100% deserved to be put in the anime. But if I exclude how I feel about her not being in the anime, I think B is fair. B is fair. I think B, high B. I think B, she's a great helper, exactly. No hard feelings, but B, she has a bunch of good, funny moments, but ultimately she suffers the Hassan curse, doomed to be fodders. Yeah, true. I also love those moments where she, like, I don't know. One thing I really liked about the Hassans here in Camelot are the fact that all of them felt like faction leaders. Like, when we got them all together, the Hassan of Serenity, Cursed Arm, and her, it's like we were talking to the Hassan Council. Like, these are the top assassins, the top of their class assassins. All of them are powerful in their own unique ways. I think she's a great character. Next, Ozymandias. Holy crap, what an amazing character. I feel like it would be an injustice to put him lower than Nitocris. He's awesome. Like I've said many times, he reminds me a lot of Gilgamesh. I love Gilgamesh. I'd love to see his interactions with Gilgamesh one day. And I'd love the aura he gives, man. And I don't mean that in, like, the way we use it nowadays, where it's like, oh, he's aura farming. He just has presence, man. Whenever he speaks, when we approach him, when he's about to, like, when he's talking about his strategies and stuff, and how he's planning to either how he was planning to take down the holy city, how he was planning to defend against their attacks. He comes off as very intelligent, very capable, very powerful, but yet he's very chill and reserved. I feel like he's not as cocky as Gilgamesh. He can be if you test him, but Ozymandias is goated. I think definitely S tier, especially that final noble phantasm he used, and him kind of sacrificing himself in the end, even though he didn't have to at all. Right? We weren't expecting him to do that, but he went out of his way to help us. So that was just so cool. The fact that he did more than I think most people would have done in his position of, you know, being a high ruler, a high status ruler. So I think S is fair, right next to Nidokereese. Next, Tristan. Tristan. He has a good head on his shoulder. Okay, good one. Good one. I get the reference. Yeah, the Zoomers ruined the word aura. Yeah, I agree. Definitely next to Nino. Hi there, I finally caught a stream. It's the start of my birthday weekend. Happy birthday, Aniko. I'm glad you can make it to the stream, and I hope you have a great birthday week. Also, a bit of him getting his head chopped off. True, that, but I mean, come on. You can't get cooler than that, because we already know how badass Gramps is. So, the fact that he was able to survive getting cut down by Gramps, but they did it in such a way to show that Gramps still outclasses him. But the only reason he survived was because he was inside of his temple. That's the only reason his head was still on his shoulders, was because he was in that temple. If he would have taken a step out into that desert and got his head chopped off, it would have been over. So that's like a really cool way of showing how incredibly strong he is, while also showing that he's still not quite in Gramps' league. But when it comes to Tristan, let's see, what was his gimmick again? Do you guys remember? Oh, wait, no, he was the one that had the gimmick that made him, it made him neutral to all classes except for Archer, right? I think he was neutral to all except for Archer. When it comes to Tristan, me personally, I think I know there's a lot of fans of him out there, but to me personally, I think he's probably the Knight of the Round Table that I like the least. I don't know, he just doesn't click with me. I'm not really too big of a fan of his personality. I don't know, he just comes off as like a little corny. How he's always like, oh, it's so tragic, oh, it's so sad, oh, I don't want to have to kill you, but I don't know, it's just his personality is very weird. Like, there's so many situations where what he's saying out of his mouth doesn't really match what he's doing. So he'll say like, oh, it's such a shame that I have to cut you down here, and yet he cuts you down in the most brutal way possible, and it's kind of like, you know, there's a bit of a disconnect. I don't know, he's just such a weird character, and maybe it's just my lack of understanding their intention behind how they wanted to write him, but I don't know, I think Tristan's really weird. His gimmick is cool. His fight is actually really interesting because he caught me off guard not once but twice with that gimmick. I love his death, dude. His death was one of the coolest deaths I've seen in all of Fate. The fact that Cursed Arm ended up cursing him and the curse was like, you know, eating away at him slowly. Like, oh man, that was, especially seeing it animated, that was so sick. But I think that's more of a compliment to Cursed Arm than it is to him. Me personally, I gotta respect how strong he is. He wiped out an entire village. Now, granted, you know, those guys weren't super strong or super capable. He actually suppressed a lot of the other servants that he came into contact with. Especially because they, his attacks are like invisible, aren't they? Like you can't even really see them coming. He just strums on his little harp, shoots these like razor sharp gusts of energy, and I don't know, he had many moments where he came off as if he was like untouchable, like he was just out of their league. But overall, Tristan, I think I gotta give him a B. I'd put him above her, but I think I gotta give him a B. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of him. Weak to Saber instead of Lancer. Tristan wasn't in his best. Tristan is low A. I really liked him as an Antag. Yeah, I think that's the big difference between us. He was, what he did as a villain was impressive, but I don't personally like him as a villain. Like, you know, I think there's definitely other villain characters in Fate that I like a lot more, especially in this singularity. There are others I like more. Gave the Hassans much needed screen time. True. Their personalities are meant to be somewhat warped by the Lion King's influence. Yeah, I feel like I don't know. It's this version of Tristan that I didn't really click with, but I wouldn't be surprised if like other versions of him, like in events and stuff that we've done, the summer event, the little bit of it that we did, and in other events, I'm sure he's a lot more likable, especially because we have the trio of him, Lancelot, and Gawain. Those three, the boys. Yeah, I think I'd like that Tristan a lot more than I like this one, but I think B is how I'm feeling with him. Now, Gawain. The way they talked about Gawain in this singularity, you'd think he was just leagues above all of the other knights. As long as the sun's out, this man is a threat, which I think is really cool, because it shows that he's incredibly powerful, but there's a specific condition that has to be met. So if you fought him at night, then you'd have a much better chance than if you fought him during the day at his strongest. So that already, his gimmick of getting the double charge actually kind of makes him scary, because it only takes like 2 turns for him to get max charge. So if you can't take him down in that amount of time, he's deleting somebody, or potentially everybody if you don't have any, you know, defensive skills or anything. So I like his gimmick. I like the way his powers work. Personality wise, not too crazy. You know, he's your classic like loyal knight, you know, military dog sort of character where they're just like loyal to a fault. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't really remember him having much of a personality outside of just being incredibly loyal to Artoria. Nothing else really stands out to me. Right now I'm thinking A. Let me see if there's anything more I can use to move him up or down. Okay, we have his fight with Gramps that happened at the end. You know what? That I'd actually have to give him points for that. I'm not going to lock him in here, but I'm putting him here for now. I have to give him points for his battle with Gramps. The fact that, you know, he was able to hang in there. Now, granted, we all know that Gramps could have shut him down at any moment, but I'm sure he got a lot further than a lot of other people could have. I really like his answer to Hassan's question when he had him like look into his past, and I think he asked him if he regrets his decision that he made back there, and he stood on business. He stood on business. He said, nope, I don't regret anything. I gotta respect it, man. It takes a pretty bold person to be able to have a past like what he had, go through what he's had, and not change anything. It kind of reminds me a little bit of myself, because I'm the kind of person where I think, you know, we're in the best timeline, right? There's nothing that I would go back in my past and change, because it's led me down the path I'm in right now. And if I changed anything from the past, then I probably wouldn't be where I am right now. And I kind of got that same vibe from Gawain. It's tough. It's tough. Out of the villains, I think he's definitely on the better end. But I don't know if he's S quite yet. I'd put him high A. I don't know if he's S quite yet. I'd put him high A. A sounds right to me. I put him S in my list. S for Sun. Gawain has more personality, but he's so scarred by blaming himself for the Battle of CAMELOT that he forces himself to be ultra loyal. He's a tough wall you have to go through, and I appreciate a strong obstacle for every story. His undying loyalty is also a bonus point for me. I agree. That is a really good point. There will be more chances later in FGO to see more Gawain and him being in a more relaxed state. A detail they kind of went over is that all the Lion King knights were servants. They all thought they would never see Artoria again, and they'd have their guilt for what happened. That fight with Betty in the movie was too goated. It was super good. I'm trying not to have the anime influence my decision too much, because, you know, there's some characters that weren't in the anime, and because I want to keep it strictly to what we experienced in this singularity. But I'm feeling high A for me right now. Again, might go up, might go down. We'll see how the rest of this list goes. Mordred, easy S. Easy S. No question about it. Mordred is one of my favorite characters in all of FGO. Like I said, like, I haven't really sat down and thought about it, but I can effortlessly say she's top 3. Everything that she's in. The anime, Apocrypha, CAMELOT, here in FGO, I love her personality so much, man. She is just always on demon time. She's so bad at, oh man. Oh, dude. I just remembered the ending of Apocrypha, dude. She is so cool. I don't want to include that, but I'd put her S. Even if we took out what happened in the anime, I'd still put her S. She's my favorite archetype. You know, there's the classic quote from Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop. I love a woman that can kick my ass. And I think Mordred could definitely kick my ass, dude. S tier easily. I'd put her above both of them. Maybe not where Betty Vera is, but definitely above those two. Mordred is just so cool, especially when you take into account her tragic, like, backstory. And, man, the lines are kind of blurring between what happened in the game and what happened in the anime. So I'll just leave it there. But Mordred is an easy S for me. She was kind of more of an emotional conflict for the Master and Mash. However, Mordred didn't really even do anything in the singularity. Off topic, but are you going to watch Gacha? That anime started airing this season, right? I might. I did start some of the anime this season. Like, I started Dress Up Darling. I started, what is it called? It's been a while since I watched them. I started Dandadan. I started Sakamoto Days. So I might continue them. I don't know if I'm going to keep it as a, like, Patreon only thing, because I feel like it'd be too much to, like, edit all of them and upload them. but I have started some of them. I haven't started Gachiakuta, but that is one that I definitely wanted to check out. But yeah, Mordred, I'm putting her in S tier. Like you said, she didn't do too much in this singularity, but personality wise, easily my favorite out of everybody in this entire list, so that gives her points. The moments she did have, she lives up to her name. She's the mad dog. She was just always on demon time. Every time we bumped into her, she was on demon time. I remember she even left her guards for dead to just get slaughtered, just so she could come up to us and fight us again and get her rematch. Like, I just love her as a character too much. I'm completely open to being called biased. She's F tier or S tier for me. Definitely S tier. Next, Artoria Lancer. Now, this one might be the hottest take that I'll have in this tier list. But I'm not gonna lie. The Lion King, Artoria Lancer. This is how I feel about her. I'm not gonna lie. Now, we can go into the justification. Maybe there's something out there that could give me bonus points for her. But I don't know, man. I didn't really like her as a villain, especially not as the main villain. Number one, her fight was incredibly boring. Her fight was incredibly boring. She was just a meat shield. Like, they couldn't have at least given her some gimmicks like, you know, she gets double charge, or maybe she has a super high crit chance, or I don't know. They could have given her something to make her more threatening. It seemed like her gimmick was just she gets an attack boost every turn, but then it's just like, delete her right away then. And I understand that obviously it was harder to burst her down during the year one when you actually fight her, but even compared to the other Knights of the Round Table, she just felt weaker than them. She felt stronger in the sense she had more HP, but the difficulty of her seemed a lot lower than with these other guys because of their gimmicks. Like, Gawain was a threat, bro. Gawain was an absolute threat. The buffs he puts on himself, the fact that he has an AoE Buster NP that he gets twice as fast, that was like a nuke, bro. That was like a nuke that you had to look out for. But with her, I don't know why they gave her this kind of slow burn playstyle. I don't know. Your account is just too jacked. It took me an hour to beat her. Really? Were your characters like maxed out back then? Like, were they level 90 and they had like high skill levels and stuff? Or were your characters kind of like relative to their levels? Like, were you in the 60s or 50s when fighting them? No, I understand. I understand that the fight was definitely a lot harder later on. But I feel like, okay, so for you guys that did fight back then in year one, would you say back then that you had a harder time fighting her than you did with the other knights? Did you think that she was the most difficult out of the knights? Because I feel like even back then, especially with, was it Gawain that had the super high resistances to damage? Like, I feel like that alone already makes her less difficult than him. The damage resistance. Because that's kind of the same thing as having a ton of HP. But, I don't know. So, her fight, was not a fan of it. Her logic behind what she was trying to do, after a lot of, you know, you guys helping to explain and reading through the story and discussing it with you guys, I understand her logic, but I don't agree with it. I understand it, but I didn't agree with it. Just taking humanity and kind of keeping them in these cryo chambers so that they would survive the impending doom, and they would basically be held in these display cases for who knows how long. I don't know. It just... To me, my favorite villains are the ones that you can sympathize with, that you can see why they turned out the way that they did, and it's kind of like, ooh, yeah, this guy's bad, but I can see where he's coming from. I didn't really feel that for Artoria. To me, her entire story just seems as though Betty Vare didn't put the sword in the lake. That led to her basically being immortal, right? She has lived countless years. Who knows what happened to her mentally throughout that time, living so many years as a human. I think they even said in the Singularity that that would drive people mad. It seems like she's just been driven mad through being alive for so long, and so she came to this really twisted conclusion of how to save humanity. But I don't know, it's just not very compelling to me. I wish there was more depth to her than just kind of going crazy and kind of losing herself throughout the years. Now, Artoria is a very, very complex character, so if I include everything that I know about Artoria outside of what she did in this Singularity, I'd put her higher. But when it just comes to what was shown in this Singularity, what she did in this Singularity, what she stood for in this Singularity, I can't justify putting her above C, man. Maybe low B, but since we got no one down here, she's the most fitting so far. She charges very fast if you're a bozo with nothing in year 1. You have to survive multiple NPs from her. I fought her year 4 with straight low rarity servants. Did you do that like as a challenge to yourself? Or did you just not have high rarity servants that you could use at the time? It was harder to defend against her, especially since we didn't even have Merlin, just Tamamo and Waver as the big supports. Going through her HP while also trying to keep your servants alive is extremely difficult. Okay, that makes sense. Because not only... So you have a lot of HP that you have to chip away at, but on top of that, she's getting stronger. So, you know, the more turns you last, the more damage you take. I can see that. It led to her using her divine spear, and she turned into a god. Gods and fate see humans as things. She did wipe your front line. Oh, with her NP? Yeah, true. She did. But, I mean, it was like... I don't know. You're right. My account is cracked. But I feel like against her, I wasn't playing as cautiously as I normally would. Against these guys, I had to play with a little bit more caution to get around their gimmicks. But with her, I knew she was going to use her NP and take those guys out, and I just wasn't worried in the slightest. I was like, okay, her HP is already so low, she can delete these guys and I'll just clean up with the next few. I don't know. I see what you guys are saying, though. To me, Lion King felt like Goetia, but simplified and less cool. I find Artoria compelling because it's Saber. I feel like you gotta include that context in judging her, in my opinion. I feel like she can't stand alone as a character in this context. That is the best argument I've seen so far. That is the best argument I've seen so far. Because she is a warped version of Artoria, I can understand you saying it's difficult to separate her from Artoria because, you know, she's a warped version of her, so it wouldn't really, you know, make sense to rank her on her own, because a large part of her character is the fact that she's changed so much from the Artoria we know. But I guess my counter argument to that would be the fact that in FGO, if I was a new player playing FGO, I wouldn't really know anything about Saber Artoria yet. If I hadn't seen the anime and I've only been playing through the games, I wouldn't know much about Saber Artoria, so I wouldn't really have much to even compare her to. But that is a good point. That is a good argument, so I'd be willing to raise her to B for now. But we'll see how this list goes. Most people also have played maybe 2 to 3 weeks when they reach her. You had much more time to build your account. Yeah, okay, I could see that. So with people kind of flying through the story or grinding through the story, their account probably isn't as stacked as mine is. Not even when it comes to the units I have, but like the levels and skill levels and materials and stuff. So next, we have Lancelot. I really liked Lancelot. I'm not gonna lie. I really liked Lancelot in this Singularity. I like the fact that he was the only one of the knights that was willing to turn against Artoria when it comes to the ones that were by her side in the beginning. He actually turned against her later on because he knew what she was doing wasn't right. And he was the only one out of Gawain, Tristan, Agravain. He was the only one that was willing to put his morality over his loyalty, which I really respect. I love the fact that, you know, of course, even though his reasonings are a little bit questionable, I love the fact that he didn't kill Da Vinci and actually saved her despite her trying to kill him. So that was really cool. I love that final battle between him and Agravain, dude. The fact that Agravain won in the end, but he like just barely won. That man was beaten within an inch of his life, hanging on by a thread at the very end after fighting Lancelot, which goes to show how strong he is. And refresh my memory, but I believe he said something that kind of implied that there was a specific reason why he was able to beat Lancelot. I think there was something that Lancelot couldn't do or didn't have that led to Agravain beating him. I don't remember exactly. So it sounds like I'm speaking very vague, but I think I remember when he had his final conversation with Artoria, I think I remember Agravain kind of implying that normally he wouldn't have been able to beat Lancelot, but he was able to beat him for some reason that I don't remember. Madness enhancement, that's what it was. He had to use madness enhancement on himself to be able to take down Lancelot. So hearing that, that's like a bonus for Lancelot, because it's like, dang, he needs to, you know, drive himself mad basically and kind of curse himself just to, you know, be powerful enough to take you down. So imagine Lancelot, if he had the madness enhancement, then even with his madness enhancement, he would have gotten clapped. So Lancelot, I like him a lot. I think A is fair. I think A is solid for Lancelot for sure. Very happy with his performance here. You also get the amazing interactions, like someone said, his amazing interactions with Mash. How he was like, he was so confused realizing that he has a daughter now. That was funny. I also love how this man is just, bro, he's just a demon, man. I feel like he is the cause for so many bad things that happened in this Singularity. Like, didn't he like sleep with Agravain's wife or something? I don't remember. I don't know. I feel like he, being the lady killer playboy guy that he kind of is, has gotten him into so much trouble, or gotten everyone into so much trouble, and he just doesn't face any repercussions for it. I think that's pretty funny. But A tier. I'm happy with A tier. Being called Papa was not good for his heart. He slept with Artoria's wife. That's what it was. Artoria's wife. The one other than Morgan, right? I think it was Guinevere, something like that. Yeah, there it is. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but A tier. I'm happy with that. Cursed Arm, bro. I feel like I gotta put him S tier. He's such a bro. He's so cool. I love his ending. The ending that they had for him. The fact that he wasn't even a servant and he was able to compete with servants is so cool. The him being able to sacrifice himself and risk his head for us and for his people, and then that ending with him and Gramps saying that he's not Cursed Arm anymore, so there's no need for him to take his head. That was just such a heartwarming moment. Oh man, what a great character. What a great character. I might even put him like up here, bro. He was just such a pleasant well, he wasn't really a servant, but he was such a pleasant servant to have in this singularity. I'm all for Cursed Arm. Arash, my boy, my goat. Again, another one of the most likable characters. One of the coolest sacrifices in all of Fate. His Noble Phantasm actually being able to not only counter, but also destroy Lancer Artoria's Noble Phantasm. Him being a bit of an unsung hero because, you know, he's not a very well-known character. But, despite that, he was still able to show himself as, like, one of the most powerful characters. Now, obviously, it came at a massive cost, but, oh, it's really tough, actually. I don't know where to put him above or below Hassan. It's very tough, dude. I don't know. I think I put him slightly below. Just because I think the game did his Noble Phantasm a slight injustice compared to the anime. The anime was absolutely spectacular. Like, that was fire when he used his Noble Phantasm. The effects, the visuals, the, like, OST, everything was amazing. But in the game itself, it didn't live up to that, which makes sense. You know, obviously it's very early on into the game, but I'd give Hassan a slight edge. Slight edge. Just because I think they did him even better in the game than in the anime. Next, Sanzong, another very likable character. Now it's interesting because in the anime we got to see a really cool fight between her and Mordred, which was, number one, that shows how incredibly strong she is. The fact that she was able to compete with Mordred. We didn't get that in the game, but instead we got her using her Noble Phantasm on the gates. And the logic and explanation behind her being able to break through the gate was so cool. The fact that the gate was designed to be able to repel anything with evil or malintent. Any attack with evil or malintent. So it was seemingly impossible for anyone to break through. But the fact that she was able to smash through it because her attack was like filled with compassion or something like that, it was so sick. Definitely, I think I might even go as far as saying these guys. I'm starting to question Da Vinci a little bit more. I think I might put her above Gawain. I might have to. Yeah. No. Out of respect for how formidable of a foe Gawain was designed to be, I'll keep him there. Tawada Tota. Now, Tota was great. He was also a very pleasant surprise in this singularity that they did not show in the anime at all. I love his Noble Phantasm. The fact that he just creates like infinite grains of rice. I love that moment where the guards were like reporting the fact that they were like getting pelted with rice or something. And I think it was Lancelot or whoever was leading them, maybe Gawain. He told his men to retreat. I don't know why. Obviously, he had a different reason for doing it. Obviously, he wasn't afraid of the rice, but the timing of it did make it seem like he was like, these guys were actually struggling from this rice NP that was suppressing them. And so he was like, all right, you guys retreat, go to the left side of the kingdom. Like they couldn't handle it. The rice was too powerful. That was great. I love his chemistry with Sanzang. There were a lot of moments where he was kind of like the voice of reason. I love just how chill he is. Tawada Tota was a great character. I think A tier. I think A tier for sure. I think I'd be happy with him exactly where he is, actually. Tota was great. Such a cool character. Serenity! Assassin, or Hassan of Serenity. She's adorable. There were so many wholesome moments. You know, there were those moments where you actually feel bad for her because she feels as though, you know, she was the one responsible for... I'm trying to remember. Was it for the people in the village dying? I do remember that there was a part where she was, like, blaming herself for someone's death. I believe it was the villagers. But it might have been, like, the... I don't remember exactly. I'm pretty sure. The kiss moment was also... That is actually so cool because it got to show... Number one, it's super wholesome. The fact that anyone that she touches is, like, killed by her incredibly potent poison, but she's actually able to touch Fujimaru or Gudako because they're resistant to poison. So it's like we're the only person that she can actually make contact with. And she was obviously super excited to see that. I can't really see her higher than B, but I like her a ton. I agree. I do really like her in this Singularity, but admittedly, she didn't do too much. She did try that, like, trap on Tristan in the end, but it ultimately ended up not working because he's resistant to poison. So that was kind of just unfortunate for her. So it's a lot of her placement is mainly because of her personality and the character interactions, but she didn't really progress the story too much other than being one of the Hassans we needed to assemble to, you know, get all of the great Hassans together. Next, Gramps. I mean, if he's not S tier, I don't know who is, bro. He, like Ozymandias, just has a level of presence to him. The fact that even throughout this entire Singularity, we still have no clue at all whatsoever of what he's truly capable of, just how strong he truly is. We just know this guy's at the top of the food chain. None of these guys can compete. It's not even close. And even when he was fighting Gawain, like you guys said, he didn't even bring his sword out when they were fighting. So that just shows you he was going easy on him. Gramps is just goated, man. I love the way he came into that final fight too. How normally Lancelot said only like 40% of his soldiers would have made it to the gates because of all the archers. But then he, out of nowhere, this sandstorm comes in, swoops in, kind of obscures everyone's vision. He takes on Gawain. More people are able to survive and make it to the gates. Like, bro, the fact that his when we see him inside of the temple and he speaks to us, it's just like you don't want to mess with him. Even though you know he's not a bad guy, you don't ever want to mess with him because he's just so intimidating. Even though he helped us, again, even though we know he's not a bad guy, I feel like if I were in Fujimaru's position, after leaving that sanctuary, I was like, yeah, that dude, I don't ever want to see him again, because I don't know if I'm going to lose my head or not. I don't know if I'm going to make it out alive. So I think Gramps is an easy S. Put him above Arash. Maybe like right here. Maybe like right here. I love Gramps. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes to this singularity specifically, I think Cursed Arm is my favorite of the Hassans. Next, we have Sherlock. Dude, I'm inclined to rank him highly. Because he gives us so much information and so many like context clues to resolve the greater question of who is Solomon? Can we trust Romani? Something fishy's going on here. His portrayal of Sherlock Holmes is so good. It feels like they really did the fictional character justice in bringing him to FGO. He feels so cool, man. Now, our time with him was short, but simply because of the greater story progression, like a lot of these guys helped us progress through Camelot, but this guy helped us progress towards Solomon and figuring out that whole situation. I think, man, I'll go A. I'll go high A. I think. Next. I feel like I can't rank him too high, because a lot of the reason why I like Roosh is because of, you know, memes in the community and ways that I personally have interpreted his character. But obviously they didn't intend for him to be this, you know, what's the word, like psychopathic maybe kid, this sociopathic kid. You know, these are all things that were birthed from the community. Roosh as a character didn't do too much. You know, he was kind of just a plot device that I think stood for maybe like the innocence of humanity. Oh my god, this chair. I think I'll, bro. It feels so weird rating him. I think I gotta go like C. He had some interesting conversations, like when everybody was trying to hide the truth from him, when secretly he knew the truth and he was, you know, and he could understand why we were hiding it from him. But I mean, I don't know. Higher than Artoria? I don't even know if I could put him above Artoria, bro. I don't know. It feels wrong. She's supposed to be the main villain. She didn't do a great job, in my opinion, but putting Roosh above her, it feels like a slap in the face. Oh, man. We gave birth to Roosh? In a way. In a way, we did. Still better than Anime Roosh? I agree. Anime Roosh would be like D tier. I'd put his mom higher than him. But, fine. Since it was requested, we'll put him above Artoria. Saruhan, I mean, not really any memes. He was interesting. He was interesting to have as a character, but ultimately he didn't do too much. He was just kind of there. But I have to acknowledge the fact that he did stand out from most NPCs throughout the singularities. It's just, yeah, he's okay. Now, Agravain, the last person we have to rank. Where do we put Agravain? Now, did we ever fight Agravain? I'm thinking if we did, it had to be inside of the prison, but for some reason I don't remember our fight against him. Did we actually fight Agravain? Or was it always just his soldiers? In his own tier. Agravain tier. Honestly, one thing I gotta say, he was a way better villain than Artoria. Way better villain than Artoria. Never directly. Okay. I had to make sure, because I was trying to think, like, okay, where would I put my fight against him? Wait, did we ever fight him? And so we didn't. Like I said, better, more compelling villain than Artoria. I would have loved if he was like in Orleans, how, what is his name? How Gil was the ultimate mastermind behind Jalter. I would have loved if he was the Gil of this singularity. How everybody was thinking that Artoria was the big bad threat, which she was, but it would have been cool if he was like manipulating her and pulling the strings behind her. Now, he was doing some shady behind the scenes stuff for his own ulterior motives, but ultimately he was still following what Artoria wanted to do and her idea for how they would save humanity and move forward, instead of him kind of manipulating her into following his goals. Now, he very well might have done that, but if they did, he didn't express to us what his ultimate goal was. That she would have been contributing to. So already I'm thinking somewhere A tier. Already I'm thinking somewhere A tier. I'm feeling above Gawain so far. Maybe like top of A tier? Because definitely above Sherlock. I think putting a pin in it. Putting him right there. Let's see what you guys think. You fought his dude. He had no battle sprite. Only his knights. Dude was just trying to do his best. He was really just trying to make amends. What was he doing for ulterior motives? What are you talking about? Well, he even said himself when he was giving his... When he was talking about Morgan and him... He had ulterior motives in the sense of... He had his own goals that were separate from Artoria. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he had a whole, like, moment where he was talking about how he was raised by Morgan and Morgan wanted him to succeed the throne or something. Or how, like, maybe she was manipulating him. Or she was using him to claim the throne. Something like that. Am I in the right ballpark? Agravain is extremely loyal to Extreme. I don't know. I feel like I'm not, like, making this up off the top of my head. I could have swore he had a conversation. His ulterior motives was just keeping Camelot prosperous. He just saw Artoria was the best fit for that. Yeah, didn't he say something like he didn't care who the king was? Or he didn't care who succeeded the throne? I don't know. I wish I could pull the speech up in front of me. His goal was making Camelot flourish. Agravain wanted the best king for Britain. He did not care who it was. It turned out to be Artoria, so he was loyal to the best king. Okay, so that's what I mean when I say ulterior motives. It's like he had his own goals that he was striving for that were independent of Artoria. Now, ultimately, his goal ended up coinciding with Artoria's because he saw her as, you know, the best fit for Britain. But if she wasn't the best fit for Britain in his eyes, then, you know, maybe he would have helped Gawain succeed the throne, or Morgan, or whoever he thought was fit. So that's what I mean. I don't mean like he was, how do I explain it? When I say ulterior motives, I don't mean it in a like ominous or like evil sort of way, like, oh, he's scheming, he's trying to, like, no, it's just like he's making moves in order to strive for his own goals that were independent of Artoria. And he was all the other knights. He just wanted to make up for how horribly things went with the fall of Camelot. Morgan wanted to manipulate everyone to conspire to Artoria's fall, as she saw herself or her offspring had more right to it. At least one of her thirds was. Okay. He was the backbone of the kingdom. When he died, everything went to shit. Man, I wish we could see that. I feel like that's a big part of this whole Camelot storyline that we're missing. Now, maybe there's context given in other parts of the game or in events and stuff, but for me, after watching the anime as far as I have and playing the game as far as I have, I feel like there's still like pieces of Camelot that I wish I could see to get the full picture. Because there's like points in the timeline that are missing that make it kind of hard to see or understand each of the knights and why they do what they do. A lot of the context I have is from what you guys have told me about these guys. Like, for example, him sleeping with Gwenvere, however you say her name. I never would have known that unless you guys told me. And I'm sure there's more about him I could learn, but I don't know. My knowledge of each of these characters, especially comparing them before and after their deaths, it's limited. A lot of Camelot Singularity is heavily backed by the Arthurian legend. Agravain should be a playable assassin servant. You think he'd be an assassin if he was a servant? Okay. So, how do I feel about this list? I think it's interesting that we don't have anyone in D tier. There's no one that felt completely useless in the Singularity. So no one in D tier. The only person in C tier is an NPC, so I'm not mad about that. And then when it comes to these other guys... It feels weird to have these two in separate tiers. I feel like they'd have to be side by side. So if I moved her down to A, I'd have to move him down to A as well. But I'd say Ozymandias' impact was nearly... It's like relative when it comes to importance compared to Arash's. Both of them had very big sacrifices. He also sent his forces to come and help us and stuff, so I feel like I can't put him too far below Arash. And if I think Arash is S tier, then these two have got to be S tier. I think S tier is locked in. No one's going down from S tier. A tier. No, I feel like there's not really anyone I'd take down from A tier either. I was thinking the only one might be Tota, but Tota did more than Serenity. Unfortunately for Serenity, but he did more than her, so I have to keep him there. When it comes to B tier, I'm not gonna lie, bro, this is kind of embarrassing. If you're lower than Roost, That's kind of embarrassing. I might as well put you C tier if that's the case. Because I really didn't like this Lancer Artoria at all. I know some of you guys said you found her compelling. I personally didn't, man. But, you know what? Again, if I take your argument into account, the fact that she's supposed to be a warped version of Artoria, that's fair. That's fair. I'll keep her B. Then this is C tier. All right. So, locking it in. This is my tier list. Locked in. Not going to change anything. We have Mash and Mash tier. S tier, we have Bedivere, Mordred, Cursed-Arm, Gramps, Arash, Ozymandias, Nidocrease. A tier. The top of A tier, we have Agravain. Then we have Sherlock, Sanzong, Gawain, Da Vinci, Lancelot, Tota. B tier, we have Serenity, we have Tristan, we have Personas, 100 Personas, Roosh, for some reason, and Artoria. And then in C tier, we have, what was his name again? It's not Saruhan. It's like, let me see. Maybe I have his name somewhere over here. Sirhan. Mordred under Roosh. Alright. You're trying to tilt me now. You guys are trying to tilt me now. I could see Tota moving down. Tota too low. Wow, really? So that's funny. Two answers right next to each other of someone saying Tota should be moved up and Tota should be moved down. So that just leads me to believe that this spot is perfect, right in the middle. The only one I disagree with is Mordred. Like I said, I'm 100% willing to be biased or seen as biased. I just personally love Mordred's personality so much that it kind of just transcends everything else. She does have good amounts of like contribution to the story when it comes to progressing the story or halting our progression. We did have to fight her twice. Her fights were pretty fun. Her personality's fun. But it's really personality that brings her all the way up to S tier for me. I just love Mordred. She's top 3 characters for me. I can't put her below S. It would physically pain me to put her under S. The child is too high. I agree. But I feel like there's not much difference between the top of C tier and the bottom of B tier. Like, I just can't justify putting these two next to each other. But Roosh, for the memes that he gave, I have to put him up here. The memes made his moments in the Singularity so much funnier and so much more entertaining than they should have been. So I gotta put him here. I don't think Mordred should be S, not for Camelot chapter at least. I'm willing to accept that. I know people are going to disagree. I've seen like 3 different people say Mordred doesn't deserve S, but I can't put her below S. I just can't. She could be a nepotism hire if the leader hates your guts. Was playing with one hand when Mordred was on screen. He's a plot device at best. Exactly. Like I said, he's just like kind of a symbol. He's like the symbol of humanity, like the ultimate symbol of humanity and like the innocence of humanity here in this Singularity. But that's it for the tier list. Someone take a screenshot. I'll probably take one myself. But now it's time to get to the game. Now, we did make a little bit of a mistake last time. A little tiny bit of a mistake. And we ended up skipping the prologue. So we gotta go back and watch it. 6th Singularity, Divine Realm of the Round Table. Wait, what? Wait, can we not watch it? Is it not recorded here? That's weird. Strange. Think you can move Holmes down? Bro did nothing but talk then leave. True, but the things that he said were like huge clues for the greater storyline. Like bigger than Camelot. He helped to give us clues towards resolving the Solomon situation, which I think was great. 7th? I don't know why I didn't see it. Let me see. Yeah, I don't see 7th anywhere. It just goes to 6th. You need to finish the entire chapter first? Was there even a chapter, though? Because it's like... What happened was, I accidentally clicked on Babylonia when I meant to click on Camelot. And when I did, a scene immediately started playing. And then once the scene ended, we popped up here. So yeah, we didn't even start this first chapter. I don't know why it's not here, but maybe, you know, to what you're saying, maybe if we complete this first section, then it'll pop up above that or something. I don't know. Either that or just go on YouTube. We can do that. Let's see. Now, I'll go and watch it, but just for the sake of asking, is there anything in that prologue that wasn't included in the anime? Let's see. FGO Babylonia playthrough. Hey, my stream popped up. Cool. Let's do Babylonia prologue. There we go. Okay. Prologue and section 1. Okay. Let's mute this. And then I'll probably just like pause to read as we go through this. There are always random details that don't make it in. Okay. You could just skip the entire story, bro. No biggie. Morning, Mash. I have something personal to discuss with you today. This morning, the doctor came to me like any other day. His voice, his breath, his mannerisms, he was the same calm, peaceful man he always was. As your primary physician, I need to have a serious discussion with you. I'm going to grit my teeth and tell you the truth here. Mash Curelite, your lifespan is nearing its limit. Just like humanity has no future past 2019, you have no future beyond that time. Dang, he's so blunt. What the heck? He's not sugarcoating it at all. This was decided at the beginning. You can't stop it. I can't stop it. No one can stop it. Even the Grail, the supposedly omnipotent wish granter, cannot change this fate. After all, the Grail is merely a shadow that fell just one step lower from a higher dimensional phase. A great crystallized magical resource. Calling it an omnipotent wish granter is like saying you can buy anything with money. The truth is, the Grail can only execute what a human envisions. It is not omnipotent. Oh my gosh. It is not omnipotent. Don't be mistaken about that. I silently agreed. The Grail is only a means of accelerating things. Raising buildings, building cities, making epochs. For everything humans have done, the Grail uses its vast stores of magical energy to make the process quicker. Why was the doctor telling me something that I already knew? You're going to die soon. It has nothing to do with your own will. It's simply how you were created. Do you find that frustrating or sad? Does it make you feel empty? Well, it's terrible. I'm not talking about Chaldea's research. I'm talking about all of humanity and all of life. Living things are destined to die from the moment they're born, and yet they possess the capacity to grow. If something's going to die, why bother growing? Both the physical body and the spirit should maintain the same state from birth till death. If they did, there would be no sadness or pain. Everything would be equal. Everything would have meaning from the beginning. But this planet's life is nothing but waste. It's essentially growing just so that it can die. It's meaningless, truly meaningless. The more time passes, the more life leaves this world unfulfilled. I can't help but think that when it comes to the life forms on this world, the planet simply has the wrong settings. Don't you think so, Mash? You are half man-made. You are an incomplete being, a product made by imperfect humans who tried to play God. You have the right to hate them and the duty to reject them. Human history has no value. All this is no more than remnants left behind by humans leading meaningless lives. It just so happens to look like a picture that has meaning. What was strange was how gentle his words were. Everything he said was impossible for me to accept. I couldn't agree at all. But his voice was so gentle, his words were filled with wisdom and compassion. If it's causing you pain, you can stop. He whispered into my ear with a voice both sweet and dangerous. But you're not Dr. Roman, are you? Dr. Roman can be pessimistic, antisocial, and he often says the wrong things and gives up. But he would never deny any kind of human effort. You only look like him. You're something else entirely. Now, oh, snap. I was about to say, I do remember this. I'm pretty sure this was in the anime. Let's see. Okay, this is actually disturbing. His face looks so creepy. It looks almost like these are cuts on the side of his face. Like he just has these random cuts open. Looks, I know it's not actually that, but it looks weird. Ha. Ha 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 ha. And now, back to reality. 6 a.m. This is when I always wake up. What a strange dream. It felt like I was being dragged down, as if I took one wrong step, I would never wake up from the dream. Senpai went through the same thing before, but why would it happen to me now? The call from the command room made me feel tense. Perhaps the strange dream had affected me. I had a feeling that this was a premonition, one that was telling me that my race shift into the 7th singularity will be my last. Dang. That's dark. But yeah, like you said, it reminds me of Sonic EXE. It definitely felt like something I'd see in Higurashi. For sure. You got here 5 minutes after the summons. Looks like you're ready to go. What did he say? Whatever. Given how abrupt the summons was and how early in the morning it is, I suppose there's no need for explanation. Hello? I was about to click for a second. Yes, that's right. The day is finally here. According to Chaldea's clocks, there's not much of 2018 left. The lost year of 2019 is almost upon us. Before that happens, we need to find out what caused the incineration of humanity. That is the purpose of our grand order. He said the thing. He said the thing. And our long journey is almost at an end. Master Ritsuka, we owe it all to you and MASH. I'm sorry, I'm 2 minutes late. MASH Cure Light has arrived. Just because they don't have it. You know, I might as well. Morning, MASH. Okay. Oh, hello. Good morning, Senpai. Sorry for being so flustered. I need to stay calm at all times, don't I? Yes. Good to see you're getting along. A tough spirit is one thing, but teamwork is important too. Alright, Ritsuka, MASH, let's try this again. At 7 o'clock this morning, Chaldea completed its preparations for the 7th Singularity race shift. We've little time left. Our backs are against the wall here. The last singularity, this is the grail that Solomon sent into the past himself, and I'd like you to recover it. I know I sound like a broken record, but are you ready? It's going to be another tough journey. The toughest one yet. Gotta give Foe his credit. Yeah, that's the kind of person you are, Ritsuka. I was silly to even ask. Then, let's start the briefing. This time we will race shift to the beginning of human history. The beginning of all civilization, the world when it was unified as one. The mother that flourished along the Tigris and Euphrates and influenced a great many civilizations. One of the world's oldest civilizations, which began almost simultaneously with the earliest Egyptian kingdoms. In the world of Magecraft, this era was the twilight of the Age of Gods and a topic of research. The land of ancient Mesopotamia, 2600 BC, the beginning of Sumerian civilization after the Ubaid culture. The world of the BC era, where reality was a place of mystery and gods walked the land. Indeed, Mesopotamia is the age of the first Sumerian kings. Just the process of getting there makes it this tougher than any previous singularity. It's the last age of fantasy on Earth, when gods and monsters were a part of everyday life. Alright, we're waiting. It's weird when the music cuts out like this. It's just quiet. What kind of response is that? How boring. All my effort waiting to burst out at the right moment has gone up in smoke. I wouldn't say that. You surprised me. To think one person has the power to silence the entire room in an instant. The way you put so much effort into such trivial matters. I wish Senpai could be like that sometimes. Come on, you gotta respect foe. Leonardo, quit messing around. Do you have what I asked you for? Yes, it's done. Of course it would be. Ritsuka, here's a present for you. Is this a scarf? It seems to be made from very fine and sturdy fibers. Remember the mask I made to protect you in the desert? Say hello to Mark II. The mana density in the atmosphere is much greater than what you'd experienced in ancient Egypt. There's a limit to what you can take with you on a race ship. This is the bare minimum, but I promise you it's effective. Is it my birthday? Oh, by the way, I'll be in the command room this time as well. Don't worry about proving your existence in that era. Alright, I suppose I shall give you a small lecture on the place you're about to visit. The word Mesopotamia is Greek in origin. Meso means middle, and Potamia means river. It refers to the civilization that flourished between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers that flowed into the Persian Gulf. The order name is Babylonia, but it wasn't called that until a little later. Ancient Mesopotamia, Sumer... What's classified as ancient civilization does seem to span over a long period of time. For instance, between 5000 and 2000 BC, many different civilizations flourished, and they all played important roles in human history. Indeed, this time we're sending you to one of those civilizations, 2600 BC, the age of the first kings. From the point of view of magecraft, it's the era when humans parted ways with the gods. That's right, I don't know the reason the king of this era made that decision. But it was at this point that the Age of Gods came to an end, and by the advent of the Anno Domini era, all divine spirits had disappeared from the earth. Some may have lasted into the AD era in some island countries. But by 1000 AD they were gone. Except for extreme cases like deities that remained completely isolated from humans. Well, let's put that topic aside. What I really wanted to talk to you about was the difficulty of this race shift. Race shifting into the BC era is extremely difficult. The further back into human history you go, the more unstable the race shift, so as you get closer to the Age of the Gods, things get more uncertain. Some academics call the Age of the Gods an age of uncertainty. It's not something that lends itself to observation. On top of that, Sheba is refusing to stabilize. Actually, I doubt it ever will. Bro. What is Foe yapping about, alright? I respected it at first, you know? I had to give him his voice lines, but now he's just saying a whole lot of nothing. Yeah, but with the help of the staff at Chaldea, we were able to calculate the location of the 7th singularity and observe it. Given the difficulty, I'll be staying here in the command room, which also means I won't be able to act as a navigator, but still. On my I almost said horror. On my honor as a genius, I hereby swear that I will flawlessly prove your existence. So, don't worry about a thing. Get out there and go and have a grand adventure. Leonardo's statements are inappropriate, but this really is an experience not many can have. You're going to the ancient world, a place that modern man will never know about. The danger is immeasurable, but I hope that's also how amazing your discoveries will be. Yeah, once we put an end to everything, tell me what you've learned on this journey. Hey there, don't get so sentimental. Ritsuka's about to go to battle. You need to keep them sharp. Sheesh, Ramani, go and get some sleep. Trying to act tough just proves you're tired. I beg your pardon, I got plenty of rest. I'm all fired up and ready to go. Come, your coffins are ready. From here on, this will be your battle, Ritsuka. The 6th singularity was full of special conditions we never came across before. This one's going to be every bit as tough. It's a unique era after all. Stay calm and be ready to deal with anything. A tense heart will shatter from a blow. Being flexible and adaptable will get you further. Alright, here we go. Link start. What's wrong, Mash? I figured you'd be all set to go. Yes, I'm ready to do whatever I must to support Master's investigation and operations in the 7th Singularity. But I'm sorry, Doctor, can I ask you something? What is it? I hope it's something I can answer. Yes, this is kind of a philosophical question, but does life have any meaning at all? Ooh. Okay, she's trying to confirm her suspicions here. Why are you watching a video of it? Because, so just to explain for anyone that wasn't here last stream, I meant to click on CAMELOT, and I accidentally clicked the Babylonia button, that black button. And when I did, the prologue immediately started. Now, I didn't have time to go into the prologue, so I just thought, I'll skip it, and then next stream, we'll go into the My Room and watch it. But for some reason, it's not in the My Room. So, instead, we just pulled up a video. Let's see. It's in the records? I mean, we looked in the records. I didn't see it there. It literally just ended at the 6th Singularity, and there's nothing for the 7th yet. Yes, this is kind of a philosophical question, but do humans... Okay, we read this. I mean, objectively, not subjectively. I've never thought about it, but it's really bothering me. That's a tough question. Objective meaning, huh? I mean, if you look at things from a god's perspective, life might all seem equally meaningless. Well, really, life has neither meaning nor merit right up to the end. The end? Yeah, if you're asking about the meaning of it all, well, there isn't any. Nothing has meaning on its own. Meaning is something that gets determined later. Humans are born, grow up, and die all without meaning. It's only when a life's over that you finally see what it meant. That's what life is, Mash. We don't live in order to create meaning. We live so meaning can be found from our life. Yes, that's how I'd like to live my life too. Thank you, Dr. Roman. I'm grateful for all the kindness you've shown me. Alright, you're both in your coffins, yeah? Ritsuka, your mission this time is to recover the Grail. It's important to find and remove the cause of the Singularity, but your biggest goal is to recover the Grail. We don't know its exact coordinates, but it should be somewhere in Mesopotamia, your race shift destination. I pray that this is our last search for the Holy Grail. Alright, I'm starting the race shift program. Everyone here on Chaldea's staff will do their very best to send Master Ritsuka to the BC era. Alright, unsummon program starts, Spiritron conversion, race shift starting in 3, 2, 1. All procedures cleared, 7th Grand Order commencing operation. Here we go. Now, is this where it ends? Or are we actually going to get a bit of an intro here? Humanity Foundation value. So what does this mean? The Humanity Foundation value. Because I know we see this every Singularity. What does that ranking mean? A++. In the Age of the Gods. Okay. So is that what we have here? Okay. So now we can play the actual game. But yeah, just to show you. Let's see. Yeah, so it just ends at the 6th Singularity. My guess is maybe it's not showing it because it's, oh, crap. Okay, I was hoping for a menu to pop up. My guess is the reason they're not showing it is because it's a prologue and it's not a part of the actual sections, but I don't know. I have no idea why it's not showing. So, turn this back on. How important it is for human history. Okay. Do you really want an explanation about Humanity Foundation value? It's very complicated and has to do with quantum time locks. Okay, in that case, nope, I'm good. I'm good. Okay, so, in the Age of the Gods, we have riders here, which means we need assassins. Assassinos. Guess we'll just grab an assassin. Oh, well, sure. I did say just grab an assassin. Defense. Okay, debuff resist. All allies critical strength, C-star drop rate, and she's quick. Okay. Cool, cool. Now do we have assassins we can use? We have her. We have these guys. We do have a buster as well. So let's do this. Wait, is she AoE or single target or support? Let's see. So this is support. Shoot, maybe we should get a DPS then. Let's go with Shuten Doji. We'll use her. And then is she arts? She is. Okay, okay. Perfect. Is he Bond 3 yet? No, he's not. And then I think we can keep her. Maybe give her this for some damage. Get rid of this. Honestly, we should be fine with this team here. Yeah. Don't really need Satanta there, but whatever. Okay. Moriarty hasn't seen the light of day. True. Do you want me to bring him back for old time's sake? We can do that. We can do that next singularity. Or next section. Oh, please, please have mercy. Oh, Mother Goddess, Mother of demonic beasts, the one who reigns supreme. We do not defy you. The remaining cities, people, wealth, everything is yours. Eek, don't eat me. Please don't eat me. Kazalu is different than Uruk. We have no intention of following that foolish knight. We will sacrifice everyone up to our second-class citizens. You can have them all. Treat them like livestock. I don't care. So please leave us. Leave us alone. Ah, yeah. Deserved. Deserved. Trying to sacrifice other people to save herself. Lowly creatures, I am utterly disgusted with you. We have said before that not a single human shall survive. Even monkeys are smarter than these humans. Do they really think they're worthy as food? At best, they are fit to fertilize the land. There she is! Best girl made an early appearance! Holy crap. Honestly, for dramatic effect, I wish they would have, like, you know, darkened out her sprite just like Medusa's. Because then once we see her later into the story, you know, it'd be more of a surprise to people playing this for the first time. But here, you can already see her in all her glory, so I don't know. That's still no reason to crush them to death with that serpent body of yours. After all, we're in our assembly hall. Isn't it good manners to dispose of the prey you capture in your own lair? What, you don't like snakes? I thought you would enjoy playing with them like that. Well, I'm really more for beating my enemies to a pulp in a hand-to-hand brawl, but yes. Or yes, but... Gracias, pero no. The weight class difference bothers me. Your way of killing is too sloppy. I thought I was handling them with care. Humans are just too fragile. Ishuna, Sipar, Kish, and Kazalu I have swallowed up most of the northern cities. I don't even think any of those cities were mentioned in the anime. Ishuna, Sipar, Kish, and Kazalu. I don't remember those. But I do remember Nippur. It is only a matter of time before Nippur falls. It won't even take a month to break through that damn northern wall. Oh, Aresh. Well, well, your ego sure is as big as your body after working on it for half a year. You still need another month? See, I wish they would have done the same with her. I wish they would have darkened out Eresh Kigal as well, because one of the coolest things about seeing Eresh Kigal in the anime was seeing how closely similar in appearance she was to Ishtar. But now you see her first, so it's like, I guess you still have the mystery of like, you know, what's their connection, but still. I don't see why they darken out Medusa but not the other two. You used enough demonic beasts to fill the land, yet you only managed to neutralize the north. Will you really be able to crush that front in another month? You don't need our help? I do not. We have sworn not to interfere with each other. I do not require your help in the first place. I find massacring humans all at once to be quite wasteful. Thus, I have ordered the demonic beasts to do whatever they desire to humans they capture. Wait. Speaking of Eresh, in mobile it is kind of difficult to see them. Is this like a Zoom meeting, or are they all in the same room? That's what I was just about to ask, because I could have swore Eresh this whole time was in her domain. She was in the underworld. Yeah, Eresh can't leave the underworld. Okay. So, I guess Zoom call? Ancient Zoom call? And that would also explain why Ketz is here, because I don't remember ever seeing like conversation, a face-to-face sort of like council conversation between Ketz and Medusa. Thus I have ordered the demonic beasts to do whatever they desire to the humans they capture. They may drag them to their den and slowly kill them, or they may eat them alive, or perhaps the humans can be used as raw materials for my temple. Raw materials for your temple? No wonder it smells even worse than the last time I came here. The stench is so strong it makes me nauseous. A pity, since death is so very pure. Isn't it the same with you? Wasn't death an everyday thing in your mythos? Exactly. Keeping the beaten alive for later is unthinkable. That being said, this is the result of the survival of the fittest. I won't condemn her principles. Oh, here we go. The classic Ket's face. After all, I do the same thing. In the end, I meticulously snuff them out one by one. Jesus! Isn't that what this is? That's why we were summoned? She seems a lot more diabolical here in the game already. The goddess who slays this era's king and obtains the Holy Grail will become the ruler of the world. Not gonna lie, in the anime, Ketz came off more as just like someone who was in this for the thrill of the fight. You know, she just kind of slaughtered those people and just obliterated them for fun. But here, it's like she finds some kind of sick pleasure out of it. Yeah, exactly, the emote. Janice knows what's up. Janice knows what's up, man. The goddess who slays this era's king and obtains the Holy Grail will become the ruler of this world. That's what we, the Three Goddess Alliance, swore, right? Or what? Have you changed your mind? Do you feel pity for slaughtering humans as foolish as they are? As you're the one and only legitimate surviving Sumerian goddess in this era, are you losing your taste for slaughter? Nonsense. This is exactly what I want. Uruk has been my land from the very beginning. I just let the humans borrow it on a whim. I feel neither mercy nor obligation. As a pillar for the Three Goddess Alliance, I will erase humans from the face of this land. Abandoned even by a native goddess. The humans of this era truly are inferior wretches, not worth saving. Good. It sounds like your wills are unwavering. Mother will be relieved to know that the Alliance's oath is eternal. Here he is. Here he is. Kingu. Is that you? When did you return? How many times must I tell you to go to Mother when you've returned? As you can see, I'm hurrying over to you now. Mother, you should refrain from associating with these two goddesses on your own. They are dependable allies but fearsome competitors at the same time. More importantly, they're the only beings on Earth that possess the authority necessary to kill you, Mother. It's entirely possible they joined forces with you because they want the Holy Grail and are planning to betray you. They wouldn't do that. The Alliance of Goddesses is not so fickle. An attack upon another goddess will turn into divine punishment that rebounds upon the attacker. She who raises her hand would be destroyed. And that's some foreshadowing right there. Therefore, the only attack we have is to obtain the Holy Grail before the others. That is the game we play. Yes, the King of Uruk has the Holy Grail hidden somewhere. The goddess who obtains it will rule the post-human world. The Grail was sent to this land. It's the one contract that the Mage King established. However, the method of obtaining the objective wasn't laid out. Therefore, everyone is free to search for the Holy Grail however they like. For example, Mother's method is to seek the Grail within the ashes of Uruk after eradicating the humans. And your method... See, now it's a lot... Well, I don't know. It feels like it's harder to see her. But, I mean, you can still see her. With nature itself combined with your own physical prowess. Or finally yours, which could be as simple as waving a hand and wiping out all life in an instant before anyone knew what happened. All of these are little more than your own pathways to acquiring the Holy Grail itself. Still, be careful. I sensed a strange fluctuation, the final ray of hope for humanity's future prophesied by Uruk's astrologer. The last mage who may yet protect humanity, has arrived in our era. Ooh. Is that who I think it is? Here we go. Ah! That's amazing. Whoa! We're falling. Where's the parachute? I estimate that we're currently at an altitude of 200 meters. 7 seconds until impact. Master, your orders. What should I do? Calm down and brace for impact. Yes, Smash Cure Light will do her utmost. Master, give me your hand. Okay, caught you. Now just grab onto my waist and hold tight, please. Foe is hanging on for dear life. Noble Phantasm deployed. Galahad, grant me your power. Dang, that was a heavy crash right there. Senpai, I mean Master, are you hurt? I'll live. I'll live. No, I'm the one who needs to thank you. It happened so suddenly that my mind went blank. You're still clinging to me, Senpai. What the heck? Foe's like, you guys almost killed me back there. Ah, Foe, you took cover in my shield. Thank goodness you're safe too. Don't worry, Ishtar will save you soon enough. Before marriage? Holding hands before marriage? The audacity. Alright, take care, Janice. Thanks for stopping by the stream, my friend. Glad you can make it. Senpai, can you stand? Yes, I'm fine. I'm glad. The landing wasn't perfect, but it seems the race shift was successful. Dang, did we do that? No, we didn't. Are both of you alright? Safe and sound? Phew, for a second there, I didn't know what happened. Yes, we had a 200-meter free fall when we race shifted, but Master's quick thinking saved us. There have been many accidents up until now, but never thought we'd end up in the mid-air after a race shift. Doctor, what happened? Apparently the race shift was intentionally tampered with. We successfully set it to the biggest city of that era, but immediately after the race shift was established, it seems all of you were forcibly shot to that location. Do you think it could be interference from the King of Mages? That's probably not it. Yes, I agree with CloudyCrow. My guess is that some power in the city repelled you. Not even Solomon is almighty. He can't be on guard against us when we can appear anytime, anywhere. Okay, sorry for interrupting. Roman, I got an answer for you. What they experienced was a forced deportation caused by a barrier. There seems to be a bounded field around the city of Uruk, probably to ward off attacks. So we bounced off the city's defense mechanism. It's true that we are trespassers, but... yeah, the question is, why is an ominous field like that set up? Like all of the singularities up until now, there's impending danger in the city of Uruk. CloudyCrow, MASH, first reassess the situation. We're calculating coordinates over here, but the precision is still low. Actually, there's too much information. Blame it on the ancient world. The mana concentration is so thick that our information processing can't keep up. Under these circumstances, visual footage from CloudyCrow will give us clues to analyze. Well, does anything stick out? What about the band of light in the sky? Oh, that's right. We'll continue monitoring the situation. The band of light. Yes, it's still there. I see. So there's one in that era too. In that case, there must be a place where the incineration of humanity was carried out. Do you notice anything else? What kind of place you're in? For lack of a better word, ruins. I see. Ruins, huh? I mean, I could kind of tell from the video feed, but you're pretty far away from Uruk. I was thinking you should gather food before heading there, but that won't be possible, unfortunately. There's nothing but ruins here. Both food and information gathering are out of the question. I thought so. The only silver lining is that Da Vinci's scarf is working well. According to the data we're getting, the concentration of mana in the air is higher than in Egypt. CloudyCrow, how are you physically? Do you have a headache or ringing in your ears? I don't hear ringing, but I can hear crying. An abnormality in your tympanum. No, the fact that you can hear crying means... Please wait, doctor. I thought I heard a faint rumbling from the ground. I'm picking up odd magical energy headed our way. Are you getting it on the monitor? Confirmed, it's a hostile. It took a long time to confirm because it's a pattern we haven't seen before. The staff apologizes too, but that can wait until later. The enemy's coming. 2600 BC, Ancient Sumeria, your first battle in the Ages of the Gods. But you have nothing to fear. After all, you haven't lost yet. Show this era the power of the master and servant who overcame 6 singularities. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go, MASH. Let's do this. Force the deportation. Trump is already setting up shop. That is a pity, as Kish had a high king before Uruk had. Aga of Kish saw himself as overlord. Oh, as Kish. Aga of Kish saw himself as overlord to Gilgamesh and was besieging Uruk to demand forced labor of their citizens, but Gil scared his troops. And Enkidu and elite soldiers captured Aga. While they were confused, Gil did let Aga go, remembering how he once sheltered him during his travels. Dang. Context. Lore. Love to see it. Are you prepared for Mother's wrath for not summoning her? Oh my gosh. I can't wait. I'm honestly so excited for the Tiamat fight. I cannot wait. So we got these goobers here. Increase attack, NP strength. Apply guts, NP gauge. Inflict charm, decrease defense. My guess is it's just going to be 2 waves of these guys, because we saw nothing but that in every single episode of Babylonia. Nothing but these guys everywhere. I love her voice, man. It's got a charm to it. What does she get with overcharge? Poison effect increases with overcharge. And corroding poison. Alright. Alright, let's delete these guys. They really adapted these guys pretty well in the anime. What, the enemies? Aoi Yuki has a great voice, I agree. Dang, almost 400k. That was super overkill. And now we have more, and this guy has even more health than the others. Who else do we have here? Shoot. If I would have brought Oberon, we could have done this. Why did I bring her again? Oh, because she's an assassin. I guess we can just... This only does like 13. I really gotta level up this skill, because it does not give a lot at all. Okay, maybe we do this, then maybe no 50k from a Buster crit. I don't think we have enough buffs to do 50k. So I think I'm just gonna do this. So we can loop. The crow will find a way to make mistakes, trust. Hey, you know that's what I'm best at. Wow. Okay. Wow, I did not expect that to kill there. Or I didn't expect that extra hit to do so much damage. You know what? Let's just full combo with her. Oh, dang. Would she even kill, though? I feel like she would. But I don't know. We can do this to lower defense. Increase NP gauge for yourself. She gives a good amount. You know what? We actually could... No, I don't want to... Let's just do this. Full combo. Dang, is she... Oh! She just ripped his heart out. Which is interesting because aren't these the guys that drop the, like, beast... The beast gallbladders or whatever they're called? So it's almost like she just ripped one of those out and handed it to me. Or I know it's one of the enemies in the singularity gives those. It is the most busted single target berserker for a reason. True. That is true. Okay, next. Part 2. So now we have... Oh! This means we're meeting you-know-who. So we have assassins and riders here. Which means we still want to bring assassins, or we could bring busters. I should level up Bunyan, Paul Bunyan. Isn't she AoE? I do have an AoE buster I could use, though. I mean, I have friggin' Melusine I could always use. But let's bring her, because why not? So we have her... Then, we're bringing Moriarty for old time's sake. We'll give him a Black Grail, too. And instead of her, let's get Oberon. Yeah, we'll bring Oberon. You know what? Let's grab our boy. Okay. I like this. Is he at 2 now? Nope. Dang, he's getting no bond. Okay. Trust Ishtar, she got max skills. Yeah, we definitely could pop off with her. No third skill, though. Whoa, Moriarty. Yes, sir. The battle is over. We've only sustained minor injuries. However, it was an enemy type we've never seen before. Yes, I'm not sure how to describe it, but it looked to be from a completely different ecosystem. Oh, man. Do you think we're going to get a new wyvern? You know what? You guys probably know the answer, but I guess pretend like you don't know the answer. I'm going to run a poll. So answer this as if you're not answering from what you know is going to happen, but answer this from what you think, or I guess hope, is going to happen. So there it is. Posted it. Let me know what you guys think. I don't remember any from the anime, but I don't think that's going to stop them. I don't think that's going to stop them from bringing these wyverns back. I'm sure we're going to have at least one encounter with those guys, but we'll see. Yes, I'm not sure how to describe it, but it looked to be from a completely different ecosystem. Unlike werebeasts, dragons, and other creatures that eventually disappeared from the world at the end of the Age of Gods. But those demonic beasts, I don't think they were of this world at all. Not of this world, huh? Perhaps they differed from the garden variety Babylonia. What? Perhaps they differed from the garden variety demonic beasts that existed in the Age of the Gods. We were prepared. We had data on all of the phantasmals and demonic beasts from the Sumerian era. But none of it matches what you've just encountered. What's going on? And that's not the worst of it. Those demonic beasts were clearly trying to kill us. It wasn't mere hostility. Their intention was to kill. All of the demonic beasts we've encountered thus far have attacked us out of bestial instinct to feed themselves. The demonic beasts just now, though, they attacked solely to kill us. I could feel the hatred in their eyes. Hatred. Demonic beasts that harbor hatred towards humans. Are you saying they're trying to annihilate us, not eat us? If so, you're in danger. CloudyCrow, leave that city immediately. Are you saying the reason the city's in ruins is? Yeah, that possibility is high. That's why you should leave immediately. I agree with the doctor. Master, animals act in pacts. Out of my way! Is that who I think it is? I don't think that's the last of the demonic beasts. Oh? Hey you! You're in the way! I can't use my decrees with you there. Senpai, did you hear something? It sounded like a voice. Yeah, I did, but I guess... Huh? Wait! Did I skip something? No. How am I supposed to brake in time if the air brakes don't work? Oh no, I'm going to hit them. If Father finds out, he'll take my license away for sure. But let me say this first, I'm not in the wrong. What? Master, are you alright? Something beige coming in at a 45-degree angle has just fallen from the sky. What? Father? Ouch. Owie. Okay, I knew it was her. So who the heck is Father? That wasn't mentioned in the anime, was it? Ishtar's father? Who could it be? Ouch, what a disaster. I didn't think I'd be sniped from the ground. Luckily, the damage wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I guess I have my usual benevolent... What? I guess I have my usual benevolent deeds to thank for that. Is this supposed to be sarcasm? Is that what this is saying here? Like, I guess I have my usual benevolent deeds to thank for that? Huh? What's this? Hey there, I'm your cushion. I'll see you in court. Wait, what are you? What's going on over there? Cloudy's vitals are all red. Well, a woman fell from the sky. Oh, the mysterious woman separated herself from Senpai. This area has way too many crash landings. Still, it's good we've met a native. Now we can get info. Whoa, 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 whoa! These numbers, is this for real? Is this some kind of mistake? What's that? Some kind of mystic that lets you see from afar? Also, it has a really annoying voice. But that doesn't matter for now. Let's talk about this wretched fool's punishment for touching my body without my permission. Your face and outfit are unfamiliar. What city are you from? I didn't think there were still humans around. Are you a sacrifice fleeing from Nippur or a survivor from Babylon? Whichever it is, give yourself up. After I shoot your limbs off, I'll scatter you over Mount Ebe. Master, this woman is ready for battle. I can sense her genuine animosity towards you. I see. I'll take your silence as confirmation of my assumption. Good. I don't have to show you any mercy. If you were from Uruk, I would have shown some mercy. Curse your bad luck. Wait, let's calm down and talk about this. What are you talking about? How dare a mere human speak to me like that? Talk it out. With me? Why would I do that? You're not even from the sacred temple. Please, hold on. The collision was an unforeseen accident, and it seems neither side was responsible. So can we please have a word with you? Well, miss, who are you? That's right, we need a name first. Are you guys seriously saying you don't know who I am? Yes, well, sorry, it hasn't even been an hour since we arrived in this era. We are members of a group called Chaldea. We were sent here to this singularity to correct the course of humanity. I'm sure you don't know what we're talking about, but we're not suspicious. Actually, Senpai's hands looked plenty suspicious, so something ought to be said about that, but... Yeah, Foe agrees. Almost forgot. So, your guest from afar, that's hard to believe, but I suppose stuff like that happens. You might say I'm here in a similar manner. Fine, I'll believe your words. I see what she means. Interesting, interesting. We're getting a little bit of a breadcrumb trail. In other words, you have no idea who I am. You don't know about this world or what's happening here. I see, then your disrespect, insolence, and impoliteness can't be helped. You're barbarians from a distant world after all. Look, touching me without permission is completely unforgivable in this world. Any Sumerian would immediately apologize, but wouldn't be forgiven, even after offering their whole family's life savings. Keep that in mind from now on, assuming you want to survive in this world, that is. And thanks for being my cushion. You are at least as helpful as a pile of hay. That's not a very nice way to say thanks. At least she seems to have calmed down, so why don't we reintroduce ourselves? I'm Romani Arkaman. I'm the acting commander of Chaldea. This girl is CloudyCrow. Okay. To cue the FemCrow memes. Let me turn the poll off now. Let's see what you guys have been saying. 81% of you think we'll see wyverns. 81%. And commands them as servants. And this girl is one of those servants, Mash Kirillite. We're done introducing ourselves. So who are you? Based on my readings, you're probably a... You're not worthy to hear my name. Just forget about me. Especially you over there, CloudyCrow, was it? Forget everything that happened earlier. If you do, I'll at least spare your life. What thing earlier? Like I was saying, if any of this gets out, like how I mishandled the boat of heaven, or how I screamed, or about my current body size, I'll chase you to the ends of the earth. This is not good, Senpai. She doesn't seem to want to kill you anymore, but I can still sense her hostility. In my personal opinion, gaining any information from her will be quite a difficult task. Seems that way. One bad move and we're dead. Oh, you understand? Wonderful. Let me change this real quick. It's a good thing to be humble. I won't treat you with disdain with that attitude, so revere me, like 3 times a day. Fine. There's no point being mad at barbarians. You wanted to know about this era, you said. Go figure those things out on your own, with your own eyes and ears. I won't tell you anything. Actually, you tell me. Right. For example, did you see anything precious lying around here? What? Current body size. Who's gonna tell her? She has a great body size. I don't know what she was implying there. To me, the first thing that popped in my head was like, maybe her true goddess form is like massive. Maybe she's just like huge. And now, since she's put into the body of a human, she's a lot smaller. But maybe she had other meanings behind that. What is it? Like I said, something precious. Was anything on the ground? Like something that makes you think, wow, at first glance? It's something you'd know the moment you saw it, so I won't bother to explain. So how about it? Anything ring a bell? No, even if you put it like that, judging from the context, did you drop something? Idiot, of course not. I didn't drop anything at all. Alright, we're already seeing the tsundere. We're already seeing the tsundere come out. I don't care about that thing. I'm just asking for a friend. Don't you think it'd help if you told us what it was? I won't. If I told you what I dropped, you'd find out about my clumsiness. Well, you just kind of told us right there that you were clumsy, though. Anyway, you just need to tell me if something was around here or not. So, was it? Oh, and was it broken? Did it break? Did I do it again? She's so guilty, bro. It's crazy. Why don't you say anything? Staying silent is so cruel. Oh, here we go. Nas. North? You're telling me it's to the north? Is that it? That's not it. That voice wasn't Senpai's. This is... Sorry, I looked away for a second since she seemed like a hassle. Numerous heat signatures approaching from the north. They look like reinforcements for the previous demonic beast. You two get ready. Alright, Master, your orders. Okay, Miss Unknown, stand back. You're pretty quick to change gears. However, you still lack the observational skills of a good mage. You didn't see them coming either. Stand back because it's dangerous? Who do you think you're speaking to? You country hick? You are the one who should stand back. I'm really getting pissed off. I'll take all my frustration out on them, and I'll do it with a bang. Okay, I'm glad we got her on the team. So that way it's like canon. Baka counter 1. He lacks critical information. Useless goddess. James Moriarty. He's back. Alright. And then we just Stella. No way. Well, that was unexpected. He lived with 800. 800. This is cool though. We get a full combo here. Her attack animations are pretty cool. I like how creative they got with her bow. Like that spin attack. That was sick. Alright, wave 2. I think here... How much does this give? Level 8. Increase NP gauge for yourself. Let's see how much. Oh, we can't use her NP. That's why it's like grayed out. Unusable. Oh, snap. That's cool, by the way. It gives her ignore invincible and invincible. Let's see what we have here. Increase attack for all allies. Might as well. Maybe we should have focused more on looping instead of using the Black Grail on him. But maybe we can loop, actually. Evade, sure hit. Okay. We don't need that right now. Maybe save that for the next wave. Oh, crap. Whoops. I don't even think we'll get to the normal attacks. I remember when, if you weren't friends, you couldn't use support servants NPs. That's hilarious. No NP. He thinks she can NP. Yep, they got me good. But hey, we looped with Moriarty. Usum Galu. Usum Galu. Who else do we have here? Oberon. Well, we can stun him. That's... let's see. Usum Galu. He has a good amount of HP here. But I think it's GG. Oh shoot! I'm dumb. We should have ulted him first, because this gives him evil. And then we'd get double the stacks. Okay. Best skill in the game. That's what I'm saying, Senor Lopez. Best skill in the game. Alright. Moriarty getting a lot of time to shine here. And now... Close, close, close. Dang it. Oh, we're gonna lose so many of our buffs next turn, though. Dang. That sucks. I really gotta... I mean, I would if I could. I was gonna say I gotta level these skills, but... the mats, man. They're hard to come by. I don't even know. This is such a weird hand. Maybe we could do like this. No, it's resisted. Oh, it doesn't matter. That was a good hit. Oh my god. I forgot. Oh my gosh, Oberon. You're such a gimmicky character, man. What is this? Is this buff success rate down or something? Debuff resist down. Okay. I mean, shoot. Maybe. Okay, now we have our NP at least. Dang! Oh my god, he's spamming it, bro! What is he cooking here? What is he cooking? He's just debuffing the heck out of us. Oh, wait, maybe... Wait. Actually, what is he doing? Debuff resistance? But... Okay. So this means we have a higher chance of getting debuffed, right? This doesn't apply to, like, death or anything, though, right? Because that'd be crazy if he just, like, massively increased our chance of getting, like, O-code. And then his NP has a, like, chance to kill. That'd be a crazy setup. Moriarty is skill seal immune. I mean, did it really matter though? I don't think I used any of his skills in the end. At least when he used the skill seal. Oh, we need this. We need a whole lot of this. This tar, this muck. Death has its own debuff. Okay. So yeah, I don't know what he was cooking there then. Debuff resist the down, but not actual debuffs. Yeah, it's so weird. Because you'd think that he would stack all of those debuff resists down to hit you with a crazy powerful debuff. But what debuff would even warrant? Like, what? Is there a debuff out there that has a really low success chance? I don't know. That felt like such a weird fight. Maybe his AI was just goofy and he just kept using debuffs instead of attacking. Or he kept using the debuff resist down instead of applying debuffs. That was weird. I don't even know how to explain that. I think he only tried to skill seal once he casted like 10 debuff resist down. So did his skill seal have a low success rate then, maybe? Especially divine servants often come with debuff resist. RNG Cloudy. Yeah, that was some weird RNG. Do I have anything down here? Friend points. Alright, so, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is where we will be wrapping up the stream today. I know we didn't get too far into the story. That was obviously largely because of the tier list in the beginning. But next stream, we will be focusing on the story. The first thing we're going to do in the beginning is check out the new units, the new welfare units. We're going to see what they can do, see how I feel about them. Maybe get one of them if I'm interested, and then after that we'll go straight into the story, so there will be a lot more story progression next time. My main goal this time was really to do the tier list, and then if we start Babylonia, we start it, which fortunately we did. So next stream will be the real deal Babylonia progression. Thank you all so much for watching this far into the stream. Next stream will be on Tuesday, so stay tuned for that. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Let me get some music going before we head out for real, for real. Let's get this one. All right. I will catch you guys on Tuesday. Have a good day, and I will see you in the next one.
む